What's going on? Vincent Rappisardi, BigBlueUnbiased.com. I wanted to do a quick recap of Monday night's game. The Giants fell to the Pittsburgh Steelers 26-16, and I expected this. I told you guys this. I didn't expect much from the Giants. New head coach, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, no preseason action. This is a good Pittsburgh Steelers team. This is probably going to be a Super Bowl contending team when we talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Defense is off the charts. Looks like Big Ben is back after missing most of last season. This was a really tough Week 1 opponent for the Giants, so be patient when it comes to the New York Giants. Don't overreact just yet. Now, the offensive line. I did a video on this. I did a podcast on this. I did a live stream. I told you the offensive line was going to have a bad night. They were going to struggle because the Steelers' front seven is, again, it's outstanding. It's off the charts. Dupree, Watt, Hayward, Stephon Tuitt. They're loaded. They're loaded up front. First in pressure percentage last year. Second in run defense EPA, and they showed that. Daniel Jones was sacked 3 times. I'd like to see the pressure stats on that as well. I don't have any advanced metrics just yet, but once I get those, we'll do another video on that. But he was sacked 3 times. Saquon Barkley had 6 yards. 6 yards on 15 carries. So the offensive line struggled to run block as well, again, against a very good front seven when it comes to the Steelers. It also needs to be understood that Andrew Thomas, rookie left tackle, probably going to have some struggles. Nick Gates, first game starting at center. Cam Fleming, what'd you expect out of him? He's nothing special. He's probably an average player at best, just kind of a depth piece. So, rookie guy starting at center for the first time, and, a depth piece starting at right tackle. I expected this against a really good Steelers defense, so I would be patient with the offensive line. Don't get too crazy just yet. This was a really, really tough matchup based on the situation and the team that they were playing, and no preseason action, new offensive coordinator and everything. So I wouldn't get down on the offensive line just yet. I told you, I warned you guys about this. They were going to have a bad game today, and it's important to be patient with their group right now. But one player specifically on their offense was a complete disaster, and that was Evan Engram. I mean, he was atrocious. He dropped a pass. He was open in the end zone, but stopped running his route. I guess it was some type of miscommunication with Daniel Jones. Would have been an easy touchdown early in the game. They settled for a field goal. He caught 2 passes for 9 yards, and that's with Golden Tate being out. So they needed Evan Engram to step up and be an important part of their receiving game, and he was invisible. He was terrible. So for a guy who's been getting praised and praised and praised all summer, he completely just decided not to show up, and that is not good news for the Giants. But Darius Slayton, he was outstanding. 67% catch percentage, 6 catches, 9 targets, and he averaged 17 yards per reception, and he had 2 touchdowns, one of those being a 41-yard touchdown. So he showed home run ability. Again, that's the type of player he is, but he might be more. He might be more than just a home run hitting wide receiver. He might actually be turning into like a complete wide receiver, like a wide receiver 1 kind of player. I know many didn't expect that. Former 5th-round pick, who would have thought, but he looked really, really good on Monday night. And finally, when talking about the Giants' offense, Daniel Jones, the final box score stats don't look too great. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, pass rating of around 79, less than 7 yards per attempt. That's not ideal. That's not an ideal game, but at the same time, he was under pressure the entire game. I actually thought he played fairly well. Just by watching him, I thought he played fairly well. Obviously, the final box score stats don't look too great. But again, the offensive line was atrocious Monday night. They did not help him out at all. One of the interceptions, the Giants were throwing a lot of quick passes early on. TJ Watt just kind of, he dropped back, and I guess Daniel Jones didn't see him. It was an interception. Another one, he was rolling out, threw it, got hit, floated in the air, was intercepted. The Giants were ready to go in for a score, and obviously it went the other way. Pittsburgh got the football. A lot of people thought that was on Daniel Jones. I want to rewatch that play and look at it on the all 22. But I thought, look, he was trying to make a play. And his arm got hit. The ball floated in the air. It was intercepted. So a lot of people got on Daniel Jones for that. But I cannot get on Daniel Jones too much for trying to go out there and make a play like that. It's one thing if he was throwing with his left hand, which we saw Eli Manning do many, many times. But I can't be too critical. Again, I want to watch the all 22 and watch it again. But that was one play a lot of fans did not like. So let's talk about the defense. Blake Martinez was all over the place, making tackles left and right, 12 tackles, looked really good against the run. He's a great tackler. So good debut for him. Leonard Williams had a sack. So there you go, all the people who complain time and time again about Leonard Williams not getting sacks. He had a sack. He had 2 quarterback hits. He forced an incompletion of Ben Roethlisberger on a 3rd down by getting a pressure, a quarterback hit, and a quarterback knockdown. He looked really good. Dexter Lawrence had a sack. James Bradberry forced a fumble. He also knocked a pass out of James Washington's hands. Would have been a deep play down the field. High football IQ. He's got high football IQ. James Bradberry. Very impressed. Although he allowed a touchdown, I thought he played fairly well for the most part. Corey Ballentine, I told you he would struggle, and he did. And I have to look at the final stats, the advanced metrics on what he actually gave up at the end of the day, but he got picked on, and a lot of people were complaining about him, and I told you it wasn't going to be good. You cannot just start Corey Ballentine on the outside. Smart teams, smart quarterbacks like Big Ben, who's been in the league for 16, 17 years, he's going to pick you apart. He's going to pick apart a 6th-round, second-year player who struggled during camp and is probably not a very good player. He's going to pick on that player all day, and he did. And Isaac Yiadom, it looked like he gave up a touchdown too. Weird route he took trying to defend it. But yeah, so the Giants are 0-1. But look, new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, no preseason games against a very, very good Pittsburgh Steelers team. So that's my quick recap. I will come out with another video very shortly detailing some advanced metrics and going more in depth into Monday's game.